Hi everyone, welcome to my 5-series podcast. I'm going to start with podcast 1. Before I start, I have a verbal disclaimer. Everything discussed in this series is presented in the public interest. I do not name children, I do not identify private individuals, and I do not encourage anyone to breach court orders. This work focuses on documented patterns, published material and lived outcomes, not on relitigating individual cases. Before I begin episode 1, I want to explain how to listen to what follows. The synthesis you've just heard sets out the overall pattern, how safeguarding concerns are reframed, how power moves between institutions, and how outcomes for children and families unfold over time. The episodes that follow do not argue with that conclusion. They explain how it happens. Episode 1 begins at the point most families enter the system, often quietly, often with trust, and often believing help is being offered. Listen not for individual blame, but for process. Because once you understand the process, the outcomes make sense. Episode 1. How protective mothers become the risk. This series begins with a simple but deeply uncomfortable question. How does a system designed to protect children end up removing them from mothers who are trying to protect them? For most people, the family court system is invisible until it suddenly isn't. It operates in private, its decisions are rarely scrutinised publicly, and its language is often misunderstood. This episode lays the foundation for everything that follows. Across England and Wales, when a child discloses abuse, the expectation is clear. Adults must report it. Teachers, doctors, parents, all are told that safeguarding depends on speaking up. But when mothers report abuse by a child's father, a different process often begins. Instead of the allegation being tested in a criminal court, it is frequently diverted into the family court system. The question shifts from did abuse occur to which parent is safer? In that shift, something critical happens. The mother's report is no longer treated as evidence. It is treated as behaviour. Language changes. Concern becomes hostility. Protection becomes interference. Listening to a child becomes coaching. This reframing is decisive. Once the mother is characterized as emotionally harmful or manipulative, the original allegation recedes into the background. The focus turns to managing the mother, not investigating the abuse. Family courts operate on a civil standard of proof. They do not determine criminal guilt. They are not designed to test allegations of serious crime before a jury. Yet findings made in family court carry extraordinary power. They can result in removal of children from their primary carer, restrictions on parental contact, gagging orders preventing parents from speaking, and in some cases, imprisonment for breaching those orders. Importantly, none of this requires a mother to be charged with or convicted of a crime. This is how a protective act becomes a liability. Once a mother is framed as the risk, the system's priority shifts from investigating what a child said to stabilising the situation by removing the perceived source of conflict. That stabilisation often means separation. This episode is not about individual judges or social workers. It is about structure. A system that prioritises certainty over uncertainty, management over investigation, and silence over challenge. In the episodes that follow, we will examine how this reframing is reinforced by funding mechanisms, professional incentives, media narratives, and risk frameworks, and what happens to mothers and children when speaking out becomes the danger. But it starts here, with a mother who reports abuse and is told she has become the problem.